"That man is richest whose pleasures are cheapest" is a quote by Henry David Thoreau that backs up frugal living. Because you don't need a lot to be happy, there are some things frugal people won't bother with. Instead, they'll look out for experiences and ways to save their money. Perhaps how they live will inspire you to make changes in your own finances. Number 10. Fancy vacations. Vacations are wonderful. Whether it's a trip on a cruise or to your favorite theme park, they provide a great way to unwind and de-stress. But they don't have to break your bank. First, you need to ask yourself, why are you fixated on that travel destination? Is it because everyone went there and posted about it? Do you even enjoy the water? Or you'll be too homesick to enjoy your trip. If all you are looking for is a change of scenery, you can accomplish that with a staycation. Go off for a weekend at a great hotel near you. You can also do the same activities you want to do in your country, whether it's eating Thai food, going bungee jumping, or taking great photos for your social media. But if you are fixated on the idea of traveling, do it on a budget. Go during the off-season and book your transport and accommodations when prices are low. What you are after is the experience, which you can still get at a great price. Number 9. Lottery tickets and gambling. Any gambler will tell you that the act in itself is a scam. You can spend $10 on lottery tickets and win nothing. Instead, you will have lost all of your $10. There's always that hope people love to hold on to, despite the experiences of others, that they will get lucky and they will win the jackpot. While it is important to be optimistic, it is even more important to be realistic. If you haven't had any luck within the first 2 hours, or with the first 2 tickets, you probably won't have any luck in the time after. Unfortunately, gambling becomes an addiction, and some people never know when to quit. Frugal people know that and do not start at all. No sports betting or horse betting or any other kind of gambling. Rather than wait for a windfall from somewhere else, get up and make your own money. Once you are certain of how much you've got coming in and how you can spend it, you won't be tempted to go gambling. Number 8. Extra home decor. Ever entered a room and thought to yourself, this is too much? You find that every inch is filled with something: art pieces, photo frames, dream catchers, flowers, books, and so much more. And it starts to look terrible. Frugal people know that sometimes less is more and try to make sure that their homes reflect that. It's so easy to get caught up in the idea of getting something more. Whenever you go shopping, there is something new on display. While you may think that it looks great, you need to ask yourself whether you actually need a 5th clock in your living room. Perhaps it's time to think differently about home decor. You can appreciate your neighbor's art display without rushing out to buy it. Rather than buying new pieces, use what you've got. Your favorite books and albums can be decor in themselves, if you place them nicely. When frugal people decide to get any decorative piece, they get those with some functionality, like an ottoman that doubles as storage. Number 7. Cosmetics. Despite what the ads are telling you, you don't actually need more makeup. Sometimes your skin does better with less products on it because it gets to breathe. There is so much out on the market, and they all promise that they have your best interest in mind. Most of them only have their profits in mind. The best way to take care of your skin is to keep healthy. Mind what you eat, how you exercise, and your idea of rest. If you want more lush-looking lips, drink more water to prevent cracking. If you are thinking of a clearer face, try to relax. Stress is known to trigger more acne outbursts than anything else. Of course, this doesn't mean you shouldn't buy any cosmetics. It just means you don't need to fill your bathroom counter and drawers with products you won't even end up using. Frugal people make sure to empty what they have before they go out and buy more. This helps avoid clutter and save money in the long run. Number 6. Children's every whim. If you have a child, you know they would want the whole world if they could have it. 2 of their favorite phrases are mine and I want, with no regard to how that will affect you financially and emotionally. Frugal people know when to say no. You don't need to go all out for your kid's first birthday. They'll hardly remember a thing in 2 years. Do something calm and then go big for the birthdays that will actually matter. It's also important to teach your children to make do with less. You don't need to gift them a new toy every week. Let them have fun with what they have. Then move to something else when they are older. It's always nice to let children tap into their own creativity. You don't need to buy them everything they ask for unless you are convicted. They can survive without the latest shoes or the newest game consoles. Beyond a certain age, frugal people have their children save or work for what they want. This will teach them to manage their money better and to be more creative with what they want. Number 5. Brand new cars. Brand new cars are a money trap. Aside from costing you a whole lot of money to purchase, they come with extra payments that you must make, car repairs and maintenance, insurance, and all other expenses you might need. We all get it. New cars smell and look nice, and the right car might elevate your social status. But cars are like every other gadget. There's a new one being released every year. If you seek to make your name as the person with the coolest car, you'll have to empty your accounts to keep up with the car companies. Frugal people do not even look at those cars. It's always easier to avoid temptation than to hope to overcome it. Instead, they go for secondhand cars, which have some miles on them and have worked out most of their new car kinks. After all, what you really need a car for is to move you from one point to another. In fact, some frugal people give up on personal vehicles and use public transportation, bikes, or simply walk. This reduces their carbon footprint and helps save a whole lot of money. Number 4. Services they could do themselves. Frugal people live by the unspoken motto, do it yourself. It is a great way to save money and learn or brush up on different skills. With tutorials and instructional blogs, there is so much you can learn with a little bit of research. Therefore, frugal people save their money by getting their hands dirty. There's no need to pay someone to mow your lawn, clean your windows, or do your makeup and hair when you can do them yourself. Some people take it up a notch and mind their own plumbing, electrical, and car repairs. You can also do the renovations you wanted or make your own decorative pieces. Once you get to thinking about it, you'll find there's so much to do. You could sew your own clothes and knit your own sweaters. You could have a home garden or repaint your own spaces. The first thing a frugal person asks when faced with a task is, can I do this on my own? This is a great mindset to get your creative juices flowing and keep the money in the bank. Number 3. Latest trends. The world is always changing, and with change, there is new information and new developments that result in new creations. Some of these creations are just a fancier way of addressing an old need, like the latest clothes and shoes or the latest gadgets. Most of these are not introducing anything new to the market, just a quick way for you to lose some money. If you bought a phone at the start of the year, you'll find there is a new one 8 months in. Frugal people have learned that the secret to not spending a lot of money is contentment. Do you have clothes that get you through the winter? Then you don't need to fill up your wardrobe with more. Can you still play games on your old console? Then hold off on buying a new one. You also don't need to remodel your house just to keep up with the Joneses if it's functioning just right. Social media makes a big deal out of the latest things, but what you need is functionality. Someone with an old jacket will still feel warm without spending that $300 on a new one they might wear only once. Learn to be your own person and to make the financial decisions you can live with, not those that look nice to everybody else. Number 2. Big homes. We've probably heard it said, bigger is better. Well, not always. Sometimes bigger is just more expensive, more frustrating, and more isolating, especially if it is coming in the shape of a house. You'll have to spend a lot of money to just furnish the rooms, some of which you might never use. And most of these furnishings have to be high-end to fit the overall picture of the house. It won't do to have a big living room and a single sofa for it. Furthermore, big homes cost more in maintenance. You probably need to buy cleaning products every week if you are strict about keeping every nook and cranny as clean as can be. Frugal people know to avoid big houses. Get something that is fit for you and your family without breaking your account. If you are a young family, start with a 2-bedroom apartment and work your way up as the need arises. Otherwise, you can stay in your apartment and save a whole lot of money. Small spaces can look neat if you keep up with the organization and minimize the number of items you own. You'll also be forced to spend time with family, which is a positive thing, rather than have everyone locked up in their rooms. Before we get into number 1, make sure to check out the links in the description for our best recommendations to boost your savings. Number 1. Takeout. Cooking can be a joy if you get the hang of it, and then you'll be able to save the $3,500 most people spend on eating out in a year. You won't have to spend on transport to the places or delivery. You won't have to think of the outfits, and you won't have to worry about public opinion when it comes to your food choices and table manners. Food is vital for the continued existence of humans, which means there is no doing away with food-related expenses. However, takeout is one you can live without. Most frugal people cook at home. It's easier for them to monitor what they eat, and they spend less in the long run. To get into the rhythm of cooking, you can meal prep for the week so that you are not starting from scratch after a long day at work. Meal prepping also helps you with grocery shopping since you will know exactly what you need. You can also cook in bulk to save time and just portion the food to last through the week. With leftovers, you will be able to pack something for lunch when you go out, rather than spending $10 on lunch daily. Once you discover how cost-friendly cooking at home is, you will look forward to hosting guests instead of looking out for the most expensive restaurant to storm.